Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and in this video, I got my brother-in-law on here to show how you can effectively leverage Zoom for a virtual Bible study. So let's go. Hey folks, AJ the CEO here. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, thanks for stopping by. And on this channel, we focus on tips, training, strategies, reviews, and builds to help modernize your media ministry. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you like what we're doing here, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com. Link is in the description. So pretty much, it's nothing new that people are using Zoom to do Bible study, to connect with people, because there's still places all over the United States as well as the whole world that they still can't meet together. But it's not kind of wise to go for a very long period of time without interacting with your people. We talk about a lot about live streaming, which is cool, but there are other ways besides just live streaming on Sunday to actually interact and still have some type of meetings, gatherings, and form of Christian education, as in Bible study, than just counting on putting the camera in the back of the sanctuary and live streaming there. So my church just recently started getting into Zoom Bible study. This is our second week, and we've had some hiccups here and there. And like I tell y'all before, I don't know everything. And when I don't, I reach out to other people who know way more than me, and that just happens to be someone in the family. My brother-in-law has been helping with their church, Gates of Faith Ministries, with their Zoom Bible study, and it's been next level. They've been doing this for I don't know how long, but instead of me blabbing, let me go ahead and bring him on. So this is my brother-in-law, Glenwood Thomas. Go ahead and introduce yourself, please, sir.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Glenwood Thomas. I'm the media director at Gates of Faith Ministries in Richmond, Virginia.
All right. So how long have y'all been leveraging Zoom for Bible study?
About 6 months now. So we've been doing this since March, since we had to close our doors because of the pandemic, since coronavirus. We've been doing it since March. So it was a new adventure for those in our ministry, because we have people from all age groups. So we had to do some different things to get everyone involved into our Bible study.
So besides just the typical gallery view, which I'll put a graphic of what gallery view normally is if people don't know what that is. That's how we did it. We started with just everybody there, and I mute everybody and just let pastor talk. And as I'm moderating, I focus him to take up the full screen. Now that's kind of the easy way to do it. Now, walk me through how a Bible study goes with y'all.
Way Bible studies goes with us. First, we send out a secure link to everyone. They know the Bible study using text in church, give them a free plug there. So we send out a new link there to them. And once we send the link out to our members in our congregation, we let them know what time we'll be on. So they'll log in with the password. Once everyone comes in, we wait till everybody's in the gallery. And so we wait till everyone's in the gallery, and then we allow them to, we do an opening prayer. We do things of that nature, any announcements that we may have. The pastor just want to speak to everyone and see how everyone is doing. We give everyone an opportunity to say hello, because they haven't seen anybody in about 6 months or since the last time we had Bible study. So we give them time to talk and conversate. And then what we do is usually we go over the rules of Zoom, just in case we have new visitors and new people, letting them know, look, you will be muted when Bible study is going on, if pastor's teaching or someone's praying. I'm being the moderator. We are going to mute you. We will sometimes give you access to unmute yourselves, but most time we don't give them access to unmute themselves. And we also let them know they're going to be in breakout groups. And what we do is we do breakout groups, or we call breakout rooms, which is called in Zoom. We call them breakout groups because we have small group ministry. And so what we do at our small group ministry is, prior to the breakout, I already know who's going to which room. And so I know our marriage ministry is meeting. I know that our youth department is meeting. I know that we have a general Bible study that's going on at the same time. So those who I know are going to their room, I break out all the teachers first, and then I break out each individual person. Now I can break out the whole group at one time if I know where everyone is going. Now you have visitors, and what I do, those visitors or people who I do not know where they're going to, I leave them in the gallery. And by leaving them in the gallery, what we do is I talk to each one of them, like, where would you like to be at for service? Where would you like to be in the youth group? Would you like to be in the marriage ministry? Would you like to be in general Bible study? And when they give me the which direction they want to go, then I move them to that room. With our breakout rooms, we add a time. When you're doing breakout rooms, you can add a time. Our time is usually about an hour, 30 minutes, or 2 hours. And we set that timer in the breakout rooms. So the teacher and everyone in the breakout room know they have an hour and 30 minutes left in class, and it counts down. What I like to do with our breakout rooms is I set it for that exact time that I need, so it brings everybody back at the same time. If there's an opportunity, sometimes I have to force them back, or I let chat. The moderator is able to chat to everyone in all the breakout rooms at one time. So I let the teachers know when there's 5 minutes left, you have 5 minutes left before you're brought back into the general setting. And that's how we for the most part, handle our Bible study.
Now, I guess my question is, one of the concerns with what I'm doing with our Bible study as we're learning this is I have mine linked to Eventbrite, or I've tried it on our website. Either way, it's a middle ground to where we don't, kind of like before, I think a lot of people forgot about the horrendous things have been happening at churches to where it's required a lot of people to do security. And even though we're virtual, we still need to have some form of security. So my mindset is I'm going to have, instead of putting the meeting out and the password out to everybody because we don't have an updated list of everybody's emails, is to have them register for this event, whether it's Eventbrite, that's what I happen to be using this week, or our website, which allows us to capture everybody's email address, and then we can send it to a calendar invite. We can send, supposedly Eventbrite sends out a personalized link through through Zoom to the individual person, so there is no password. They just click a link and they come straight in. Right. So that's what I'm thinking about security. What is y'all's thoughts, or what have y'all done to handle? Well, first off, is that a concern for y'all?
Security is definitely a concern. We don't have anyone to register. What I've done is I've built I have our people put in the password every week. And so I know there's ways on Zoom, and I've done it many times with conferences that I've ran, that I put the password inside. I have people register, and once they register, they'll receive a password or they'll receive a link they can log on. But with us for Bible study, I want our people to put in a passcode. The passcode doesn't change. So I know if you come in, it's our passcode. But what I also have done, everyone is in a waiting room before I let them in. And so I, as a moderator, I'm letting people in as I know. Now I know a lot of people's numbers and everything of that nature. I know whose phone number it is. If someone is on the call, I know what someone's name is that goes to our church, because I'm involved in our ministry. And so I let them in. If I do not recognize the name or the number, I send them a message in the waiting room while they're in the waiting room. Or I go in the waiting room and try to have a conversation with them and be like, okay, who are you, man? What are you coming in for? And they let me know who they are through the messenger. And now if I have some people who don't answer the messenger or answer me while they're in the waiting room, I usually don't let them in. And if it's the phone number, what I do is on my personal phone on the back end, I'll give that person a call and to find out who it is and to let them in. I've had visitors. I had some people I didn't know, or somebody used their wife's phone or didn't use a different phone. But to make sure that everything runs smooth in protocol, we try to make sure that everyone that gets into our Zoom is who's supposed to be in that Zoom.
Okay, so based off of what you're saying, you're not restricting people who don't participate or don't go to y'all's ministry. You just want to do a kind of sanitation check to be like, hey, we'll welcome anybody, but hey, we just got some preliminary questions just to know, what are you here for? Where do you want to go? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, because we have visitors, because one day our mindset is that one day our building is going to open back up, or we're going to be back in the church, and we have family members who tell other family members about our Bible study, and we believe that someone can get help by the midst of our Bible study. We don't want to exclude anybody receiving the word, because that might be their night, might be the day they receive Christ as their personal salvation. So we just make sure that our people are safe, and we make sure that the checks are taken care of, and then we allow them in.
Okay, cool. So are you the only one that's handling all of the moderation, or do you have a team of people?
I have a team of people. My wife has helped me a lot with being a moderator. I have people in our ministry team, the media team, the church media team, who has also helped. We have about 3 or 4 people, 3 to 4 people that help with bringing people into Zoom and moderating.
Okay.
So I don't do it all myself, because sometimes I'm busy and I'm not able to. But since the pandemic has been going on, I've been able to moderate majority of everything that goes on our Zoom.
Okay, so with that being said, like again, I'm 2 weeks in. This is only my second time. You've been doing this for 6 months. Probably a bunch of people who are watching this haven't done Zoom yet. What would you say would be a workflow or a, we're not trying to say, hey, jump all the way into breakout rooms doing all this other stuff, because we want to work our way up to that. What would be a path that you would think is a good, easy way if it's only one person that all of a sudden is having to handle this mediation of you?
Oh, yeah. One of the first ways is to familiarize yourself with Zoom first, to make sure that you are familiar with how Zoom operates, how it works, how to schedule a meeting, how to register people, how to, if you want to ask poll questions during your session, how to ask poll questions, to familiarize yourself with Zoom and how it works. And then the next thing I would do is, once you familiarize yourself with Zoom in your congregation, have a meeting with those in your congregation who may be older, who may be scared of technology, who may not understand technology, and walk them through it as well prior to you starting. I know I had several Zoom classes with some of the older saints, the more seasoned saints in our ministry, to teach them what Zoom can do, how to change their name in Zoom, how to share a screen, how to use your phone, how to answer a question, how to raise your hand, how to, if I mute you, how to unmute yourself. So try to eliminate as many questions so you're not overwhelmed when you actually start doing Zoom full time. So therefore there's a training process, and in your congregation, if you got to do one process or 2 times, be available as a Zoom moderator, be available to answer those questions for those members in your church, whether it's online, offline, or have extra time. And after you do that and you feel like people are comfortable, then roll it out. Make sure your leader, your pastor, your first lady, or those that are in charge that may be using it, leading Bible study, have a clear understanding what it is as well. And also let your people know the options. If they're not comfortable with Zoom, there's some members who don't have internet in our ministry. Let them understand they can use the phone number. There's a phone number. They can still dial in and listen to the service or the Bible study, so they may not have the video, because you have some members who think, because Zoom is just a video thing. No, Zoom is also a conference call line. So you can use that too for some of the saints and some of the members that you may not have. So familiarize yourself. Make sure your leadership is familiarized with it, and then make sure your membership is familiarized with it as well. And also clone yourself. That's one of the things I tell people: clone yourself, just in case you get sick, one of your family members gets sick, somebody leave, that there's somebody else who knows how to do what you do, so the ministry in the Zoom does not stop. The worst thing is for you to get sick and the church can't have Bible study because you can't lead it. And so when I get to that, once you get to that process where everyone is on Zoom, and then give them the rules. Once they get on Zoom in the gallery, and invite everyone in and let them know what you're doing. Like if there is background noise, ma'am, sir, I need you not to have background noise. I need you to make sure you're in a quiet place. If this does take care, I'm going to mute you. There's no disrespect. There's no harm. There is nothing personal, but the person presenting needs to have a clear line. So I am going to mute you. And if you have a question, please raise your hand and I'll get back to you. One of the best things that I use in Zoom is the chat feature. I can chat to everyone at one time, but I can also chat to individuals. I'm always communicating with individuals. I see your hand and I got you next. I see your hand. I'm gonna let you ask your question next. I see your hand. And go ahead and lower it, and we're gonna unmute you next. So unmute yourself next. And then so when I unmute them, they realize, okay, it's my turn to talk. And so that's one of the things that the moderator, you're just not sitting there watching the program or watching the show, but you're sitting there having communication and you're interacting with the people in all settings. And that's the way I would do it. And when you close out at the end of the night, again, thank you for coming, thank you for joining, and let people, if you're going to record, if you're one of those churches that people want to record, make sure you get the permission of the people first before you record.
Okay. So based off of what you're saying, that doesn't sound, are all those features available in the free Zoom, or is this one of the things that it's like it has to be one of the paid plans?
It has to be one of the paid plans. The free zone will give you 40 minutes of Zoom time. It does not give you any breakout rooms in the free version. So you have to get the paid version, which is, the time I got it was at $14.99. I don't know what their price is now on there. I reckon they might have went up $1 or $2 since, supply and demand. So right now the paid version, it gives you all those options with breakout rooms and everything of that nature. So and allows you 100 and some people. The next plan up is $19.99, which allow you 300 people if you're doing a conference where there's 300 some people that's coming up. So that's where um, Zoom is very effective. You can do a lot of things with it. You can have a big conference where you have breakout rooms. You can have a small group, and you don't have to add any extra nights to what your ministry is doing. Everyone can be in one place at one time, and sharing your screen is just as effective when it comes to apps and when it comes to Cash App, using money and things of that nature, and text messages and links. So Zoom is a very powerful tool if ministries know how to use it.
Now, let me ask you this, because I thought you were getting ready to say this, but it kind of made me think about this. So I guess this is more of like a 2 or 3-part question. So the first part is, are you handling like interactions with sharing the screen? Like, for example, I know y'all's church uses Worship Extreme. Do you leverage that at all to bring up scriptures if pastor, superintendent, the elders, whoever's teaching is using that for notes or presentations? And then the second part of that is that feature also still available in breakout rooms too, so that you can have multiple people sharing multiple screens and all of that at the same time?
Yeah, that feature is also available. That's one thing I like about the breakout rooms. Each breakout room coordinator can share their own screen. So when you're in a breakout room, it's almost essentially like you're in another Zoom meeting. So when you're involved in the breakout room, that leader of that breakout room can show his own screen. So the people that's in the other breakout room will not see it if you give them permission. And so what I do with ours, so I don't have people sharing their screen inadvertently or not knowingly. My share screen is locked down until I know someone is being able to that needs to present. So they let me know ahead of time. So each individual breakout room can share their own screen, and the other breakout rooms will not be able to see it. If I could integrate Worship Extreme in there if I wanted to by sharing the screen. I've integrated YouTube. Our children's ministry has had a movie night, and we've integrated movies that was on my computer into our movie night. We're working on something now that I'm working on. I'm trying to do a family feud on Zoom with a family feud program that I have. So we do game nights and do anything to interact with our young people. So it's things that you can be done on Zoom with breakout rooms that can be very entertaining, very interactive, lessons for kids, movies, games, things of that nature.
Okay, so my next question based off of that is, with the pro level of Zoom, you could live stream to any platform, Facebook, YouTube, things like that. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if you use this, but this is my question, is what I was thinking about doing is a kind of a level of a teaser, if you want to call it that, to where it's like, hey, we want you to register. We're not trying to stop you from coming to Bible study, but you don't know about Bible study if you're not in the Zoom meeting. Have you ever thought about like, hey, I'm going to live stream this for 5 minutes as a teaser, just so people know what's going on? Or maybe, hey, you missed the registration, but you still want to go. Hey, you can watch what takes part in the live stream, but you can't interact because you didn't register. It's more of a way of getting people to be involved. And then maybe this is the other part, is if you've tried that, does it allow you, if you're doing breakout rooms, what's live streamed? Is it the main one? Does it have the features in the breakout rooms to live stream?
It's the one that whichever one the moderator was in at the time, because as a moderator, I can bounce back from room to room. So if I would say, let's say if I was in our marriage couples room, it would live stream the marriage couple room. I wouldn't do it, me personally, I don't do it directly through Zoom because I like to add things to Flare. I know you did a video on it. The people may want to check it out. I live stream from Zoom to OBS, then OBS to Facebook, or OBS to YouTube, to break things down that nature. Also, when you're doing that, reason being because I want to highlight the person who's speaking. I don't like the 50 million boxes going on Facebook if we have a lot of people in Bible study, or have a lot of people in a group. So if I have a group if I go into OBS and there's a small screen and I can fit it the way I need to fit it, then I can go in and then I live stream it so people can see it. And okay, I need to be in Bible study tonight. So I've done it that way. Not giving them too much, but giving them just enough that they realize they're missing something. So you could live stream directly from Zoom, but to me, I like to add different things to it with lower thirds and make it look like it's something important, which Bible study is. Cool. But it will, to answer your question, it will only live stream what's in the room that you're in as the moderator.
Okay, cool. I like that. And I guess on a scale of 1 to 5, how difficult do you think it would be if I just got a Zoom account and we're trying to start this? How, on a level of difficulty, would you rate this whole process? As in the logistics, getting people organized, training. I mean, because we don't like to sandbag people. We like to tell them this is gonna take work, or this is easy. How would you rate it from a 1 to 5?
Man, you took the words right out of my mouth. It depends on how much you want to put work in. I mean, I put some time into it to make sure it's smooth, so our people are seamless, to make sure my leader looks good. That's one of the things I like to do, serve our leader, to make sure my leader looks good. On a scale, to do everything that we do, I'll probably say a 7 if you put work in. I'm out of 7 out of 10. It's not that.
Oh,
It's
I
not
thought you
difficult.
said a 7 out of 5. Good Lord.
Nah. 7 out of 10, man. You got to put the work in. But just to learn Zoom itself, Zoom is easy to learn. But if a person who has no knowledge of the computer, it could be overwhelming. But if you have a little bit of knowledge of computers and how to navigate, it's about a 7. I would even dare say it was a 6, but it's not that difficult.
Okay, cool.
When you get into the other things, that I was just mentioning earlier, maybe going into and changing, taking your Zoom, separating people in Zoom and having different boxes and things like that in OBS, that's when you start looking at the things getting difficult.
Okay. Now, let me ask this question, because this is mainly for me as well, too. So, does Zoom allow you to invite, so if you have a list of everybody, is there any way that you can make a perpetual link to where they don't, let me roll that back. So you're saying that the password, your setup is you're not changing your password. Does that raise any concern for y'all? Or is it one of those things like, hey, this is the password this week. Oh, something happens, we're going to roll out a new password next month?
Yeah, it's not a concern for me right now, because, we have older saints and I don't want to keep remembering a different password each and every week. I could roll it into a link, but the way you try to do this, I'm trying to keep it as consistent as possible. And we're just trusting and believing that everyone in our church and our ministry, because the way we send it out, we'll maintain that. If something does happen, of course, we'll go take that course and change it. As of right now, we're maintaining the same link, because we have, like I said, older saints and a very diverse ministry. So we want to keep it as simple and basic as possible. Now, do I get the same question every week? What's the link? Sure do. And we send it out. But we want to keep it as easy as possible. I'm not changing and generating the code every week. I generate the same code, not the same code. I generate the same password each and every week. Now, when I have meetings, on my personal meetings, when I have conferences that I may run for someone else, if I have anything of that nature, they don't get the same passcode that my church gets for Bible study. That is a different passcode altogether. So if that person wants to come back in another day and use that link, it will not work. Okay. So when I'm running a conference or something for someone else, or a meeting for someone else, they have a different link than our church members. Okay. And password.
Okay, so I'm getting ready to set you up with this question.
Okay.
What if somebody wants to contact you to help them how to do this? What is that?
Oh, it's very easy. They can contact me. They can reach me. I can give you my email. And I know you're savvy, so you can put in a link. They can reach me out on my email, which is GLThomas78@gmail.com. They can reach me. I definitely will help them out as much as I can. They can reach me there. I answer all questions, answer all emails. And they can also, I think that's the best way to reach me. My email is GLThomas78@gmail.com. They can send you a message, and I'm sure we'll get in contact. They can always go check you out, but they can definitely send it to me, and I would love to help as many churches as possible in being effective in Zoom, with Zoom meetings and everything of that nature.
All right, so I hope that helped. That really helped me a lot, because again, like I said, these are the things that I'm looking to do with our church's Zoom Bible study, and hopefully some of the stuff that my brother-in-law gave you some kind of insight on, give you some different directions on possibly how this could help. If you like this type of content, I appreciate a like, consider subscribing, and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. And I want to thank the patrons for making this video possible. Their names are on the screen right now, and you too can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, where you help us train media ministries all over the world. Now, A link will be in the description for how to get in touch with Glenn, and as well as a link to their channel if you want to watch, if you are a fan of Married at First Sight and you want a kind of Christian reaction based reaction videos or channel or content like that. Link is in the description for that. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. We will see you on the next video. Later.